Hey everyone, welcome to our live. This is Heather, and we do come to you live each and every day, Monday through Thursday. We're here at 9, 11, 1, 3, and 5. And then on Fridays, we're here at 9 and 11. I'm going to put those times below for you guys. Those are our new fall hours. And so we do come to you a little bit later. So hopefully that works for you and you're able to jump on when you can. So we always cover the basics. We'd like to do basically start to finish, if you would. And that's so we know there's a lot of people out there that are interested in Luminous, want to know more about us and all that good stuff. And so we want to answer all those questions for you. So if you do have other questions, that's what the chat's for. So definitely talk to me, and we'll have some luminous talk that we'll talk about, and you'll get your questions answered live. And so even if I'm talking about one certain thing, jump in and we'll talk about anything. You guys are in control over how these go and what we talk about. If I have it and I can work it into the one we're live on, then I definitely will. Or we'll schedule it and I'll say, hey, I'll do it at this hour so you know to come back or rewatch it when you can. And so we really do want to cater these to you guys. It's not just so you can watch me do my makeup, it's so you can learn, that there's no guesswork, especially if you're interested in Luminous. Maybe you haven't even heard of us yet, but you're interested and you're like, okay, what is this? Why? How did I get on this channel? We want to show you. And so I want to take all that guesswork out for you. And so you'll know what you're ordering, what you're getting, and then what to do when it arrives, because it's not going to make you look younger sitting in the box. It's not going to do your skin any favors sitting in the box. And then you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't open your box sooner. So that's what these are for. So, and if you're watching this and maybe you're waiting on it or you're going to order it, you're ahead of the game because you know what to expect. And the ones that have received their systems that don't watch this, they're maybe, oh, I don't know, can I do this? Yes, you can. And we're going to show you how easy it is. So hello, Jacqueline and Patty. Good morning. I hope everybody is ready for this Friday. I do want to cover, I'm going to show you the starter kit and we're going to go over all that. But I wanted to cover mistakes that you might make when you first start. And the reason I'm covering that is because that happens to a lot of people. Because it is a different way of putting on makeup. So you're not touching your face, you're not slapping it on. I'm going to tell you not to touch your face. I'm going to tell you to use your stylus and use the air. And so that does take some getting used to. We have to retrain our brains into thinking of airbrush makeup. It's not traditional. And so it is a different way of applying it. So you have to retrain your brains. It will become second nature to you. I promise. And the ones that are on now that have been airbrushing, Patty, I think you said you've been airbrushing for 2 years. Jacqueline, how long have you been airbrushing? Then they can testify that it becomes second nature. It'll become second nature to you. I can pick up any stylus and I can just do it. It becomes second nature, like driving, which isn't good to say. Sorry, I had to have my coffee. All right, so my face is prepped and we're ready to go. I'm going to go straight for the foundation because Patty, 8 months. Okay. And Jacqueline, 3 months. Oh, right. Has it become already second nature for you guys? Like, you're like, oh, okay, bump, 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 bump. Like, you don't even have to really think about it. Like, oh, okay, am I holding it 4 finger widths away? Am I doing this? It'll get to the point, and y'all can say amen if this is the truth. It'll get to the point that it'll become second nature. But then if you mess up, if you're like, oh wait, why is it thick, thicker here? You'll be like, oh, I was probably too close, or you'll be able to figure it out. I love that it's 3 months and 8 months. Patty said pretty much. Yeah, it'll get so easy. It will. Honestly, it will. But you have to practice. So let's go over our starter kit real quick. And this is the Icon. I'm actually using the Legend today, and the Legend's a little bit bigger, and I'll show it to you. But this one comes, and all of them come with makeup. So it's going to come with the 2 large bottles of foundation, also a blush and a Love. And we give you the 2 large bottles of foundation because this is the first time you're getting the kit. And so think of this as your practice kit, as your, hey, get in there and get working with it kit. Even if you're messing up, we give you the 2 bottles because we want you to. I want you to mess up, because if you're messing up, that means you're using it and that means you're learning. And so those are definitely ones that you're going to want to jump in on. And when you first start out, just do the foundation. Just get that foundation down, because then if you get the foundation down, the movements, the distance, the pulling back of the trigger, the other stuff is secondary, because it doesn't matter what you put in your stylus, you're going to apply it the same way. And then with Love and Blush, you're only using drops at a time. Drops at a time. So because of that, we give you the small bottles, and our blush is high pigmented, so it will bloom. All right, and then this is what I want you to do. Boop, boop. Oh, here's the Legend. This is the Legend that I'm using today. And so you can tell it's a little bit bigger, but not much. I could fit it in my purse. But this is below. Get it out, put it, I was gonna say put it together, but you don't have to. There's no putting it together. You just get it out, plug it in, and then when you turn it on, there's air that comes out. You can see how it blows my hair a little bit. It's like a soft kiss of air. And so just do this. Just feel that air around your face, holding it 4 finger widths away. You're going to keep moving and use it like you would a makeup brush. The air is your bristles. So when I'm doing this, I can feel where the air is. Wherever the air is going is where the makeup's going. Nothing is being released until you pull back on the trigger. So after you do this for a while and you get this distance down, put water in and then start pulling back on the trigger. You'll never pull all the way back. I only do that when I'm cleaning it. And then I'll start like barely pulling back, and then you'll find that sweet spot. You'll find that sweet spot. I'm going to move a little closer because when I'm messing up, I want y'all to see it. Patty said, it's very hard for me to stray out of my comfort zone. Oh, Jacqueline needs help with the eyeshadows. So Jacqueline, what I would do is the same thing I'm telling you to do with on how to start airbrushing. Do the same thing with the eyes. So when you go in and you're doing eyeshadow, just use the air, come in, and see how you can see that move, right? So just go in and make that movement with just the air. When you're doing eyeshadow, of course, you're going to come in a little bit closer. If you go to, let me see if I have a piece of paper. I'm at my desk, but you would think I would have a piece of paper. Oh, I can use this. When you go to doing eyeshadow, the other suggestion I would make is do it on a piece of paper, because this will show you as far as the distance and how that changes. Oh wait, I don't want to do black because I'm about to do my foundation. I'll just do foundation. So I'm using shade 3. I'm just going to put a couple of drops in here real quick. So, you know, Renee always tells you to do the paper and then start spraying the paper. keeping it 4 finger widths away, keep moving, and then start barely pulling back. So if you can start seeing that, that's how light you're spraying. If you get one of those, then you know that you pulled back too far, okay? So if you can airbrush a piece of paper and it looks smooth and even, then you have it down. Now, moving to eyeshadow, come in closer, and I barely pulled back, but can you see that dot? Can you see that? That is how precise, all right? So even if you are having fun with this and you're like, oh, what can I do here? Look, I'm starting my name. Hold on, let me see if I can do it on this one. Okay, so I have this. See? You can write your name, okay? So that is how precise it can be. I can make one little dot. Hold on, I'm gonna make bigger. Like, play with it. Can you see that little dot up there? Play with it, pull back. So that was really close. Now I'm gonna pull back a little bit more. See that dot? See how it's getting bigger? But see how precise it is, guys. So this will help you understand, because I think a lot of people are afraid, like, is it going to get everywhere? Can you see the bottom one now? So it really is super, super precise. So when you get into the eyes and things like that, work with it. Barely do it. Do it with some off colors where you can just have fun with it. Remember that with the eyes, there's that little time that you can get in there and blend it with the brush if you need to. So again, there's no mistakes. Everything is correctable. All right. So now let's go in here and I want to talk about mistakes that people make when they first start airbrushing. Candy, did I say hi to you, babe? I don't know if I did, but hello. So when people first start airbrushing, a couple of things happen. They come in too close because they're used to touching their face, and so it's like, or they do this because they think it's, I don't know, like, oh, where's it gonna go? So you don't want to hold it too far because it won't, it's not going to do what it needs to do. It's not close enough where it's going to land on your skin. So make those movements, but don't go too close and don't go too far. Keep it about 4 finger widths away, okay? You can watch yourself in the mirror. And another good thing to do is even record yourself. Take your phone and record yourself and make sure your hand stays in the frame of and do it this way, not horizontal, do it vertical, and make sure your hand stays in the frame. If you can't see your hand, chances are you're too far. So if you're coming in here and you stay in frame, then you have that distance, okay? And then you can always check yourself, like when you're airbrushing and you're like, just freeze. And then make sure you're 4 finger widths away, all right? The other thing, like I said before, is people want to get closer. So again, if you're like, freeze, okay, okay. So you need to move it back. Now, the other thing is the trigger. When people first start applying it, they feel like they need to see the makeup, because we're used to traditional makeup, right? So if I turn this on, and let's say I have the distance, I have the movement down, but I don't have the trigger down, and it's too wet, that's going to show you that, okay, yeah. But if it's, I'm going to do this side wrong. So if I'm going in, you can see some redness here. So if I'm going in, and I'm doing this, I'm already out of my drops. Okay? Look how this shows wrinkles and crinkles. I was pulling back so hard that I ended up having to squint because it was, I could tell it was too much. So if I had to do that, or I was too close, or I ran out of my 5 drops just like that. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I ran out just in this section alone. That's going to tell me, okay, something's wrong. Let me check those 3 things. So let's say I'm trying to do this. So again, if I'm too close, look how this doesn't even match. I mean, it's gross. And look at that. You know, so if I do go in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to cover this, and oh, let me get that. I mean, you can tell that's uneven, it's wet, it's it feels ugh. And even the color looks off. Like it doesn't even look like the right color for me. And we already, you know, we have discussed, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have discussed about colors and shade matching and how forgiving it is. This, not too forgiving. So again, that should indicate, okay, something's not right. All right, so now I'm going to apply it correctly on this side, keeping my distance, keep moving, making those passes. Barely pulling back on the trigger. And I'm just going to do the same area, not my forehead yet or anything like that. Now, if I did need to smooth that out, I can smooth that out, do it with your ring finger or a blender. The finishing spray is 6 to 8 inches away from your face. How far should I put back on the trigger? About the same, Jacqueline, if you're doing the airbrush final seal, about the same thing. You don't want it to come out very a lot, but because it is colorless, you can kind of just do this or focus in certain areas. Like I sweat here, so I sometimes will focus in this area and underneath my eyes. So I'm barely pulling back. I can hear it. It feels amazing on my skin, of course, because, and look guys, actually, let me show you this real quick. Tissue. I'm gonna do it again so you can see. Nothing. Nothing, okay? So if you have to have dry time in between, let's look at it again, okay? So I'm I'm making these passes over and over and over again, and it's still dry. So if at any time yours is wet or sticky, or hey, and that's fine if it is, just know that that's what you're going to work up to. If you need to take your finger off the trigger and use the air to dry it once in a while, that's fine. That's fine. But look at what a difference. This looks like traditional makeup because I applied it like traditional makeup. This looks so much more natural. So much better. Okay, now I just finished those five or six drops. Which one to you looks better? Which one looks better to you guys? I'm guessing. So again, these are the reason why I'm covering the difference, like what people normally do when they first start out, is because it's normal. It's because it's normal. It's people think they can use airbrush like traditional makeup. And that's not the case. It is a different way of doing it. That's why we are coming to you live Monday through Friday, so you can learn, so you can see other products. But we know that there's a lot of people out there, those people that are upset because it doesn't do what it says it's going to do. I promise you, if they jumped on here, we can, and you guys have seen it. We've walked them through it and they're like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. But you have to give it a second. You have to give it a second so you can understand this is a different way. This is life-changing for most people because, I mean, I've heard story after story of people not wearing makeup because they didn't like the feel of it, how it, you know, felt like a mask on their face. And they started airbrushing, life-changing. And I don't know about you, but when I'm airbrushed, and not even like if I just have my foundation on and maybe some mascara and my eyebrows, I have a spring in my step. If I go out with nothing on, I'm wearing sunglasses and I'm like, not as outgoing or not. I mean, it and as superficial as that may sound, I don't think it is. If you're doing something that's making you feel better, and I am not saying get up every morning and paint your face. Absolutely not. But if I can airbrush myself, throw mascara on where I even out my skin tone, maybe put a little pink on my cheeks, whatever that is for me and you feel better about yourself, do it. And I'm using a product that makes my skin feel better, is better for my skin. It's not clogging pores. It's ophthalmologist and dermatologist recommended. Then yeah, I'm going to do it. So there you go. Everybody says it's, yep, of course, that looks better. All right, guys, there you go. I'm going to go and take this off. Practice with writing, writing your name, holding it different distances away from a piece of paper. That's going to help you with the eyeshadow. Just use the air for the eyeshadow at first and get that down. Then you can practice with even foundation so you can see how it's going to be, how it's going to look. Do eyeshadow first. So if you do get it too far down, clean it up, and then you can do the foundation after that. So, all right, I'm going to go take this off. We'll be ready for the 11 o'clock in a couple of hours, and we'll be ready. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at 11. Bye for now.